students, today we will discuss about exercise 1G, rationalize the denominator. So we'll do first question number 1. First of all, what do you mean by rationalize the denominator? It means we have to convert the denominator into a rational number. So you see here 1 by square root 7. This square root 7 is the denominator. This is the denominator, and the one here is the known as the numerator. Denominator. So square root 7 is not a rational number. It is an irrational number. It is an irrational number. So in this question, what we have to do is we have to convert this irrational number into a rational number, into a rational number. Okay, only the denominator. Okay, the numerator we don't have to do anything, but only the denominator. So now 1 by square root 7, what we have to do is we just multiply it with square root 7. Multiply square root 7 in the denominator, and to balance it, we multiply also in the numerator. Okay, so this equal 1 multiply square root 7 equal square root 7. And square root 7 multiply square root 7 is square root 7 whole thing square. Because suppose if we have x multiply x, this is equal to x square, isn't it? Because they are the same number and we have to multiply the same number, so it becomes x square. So here also it is the same number, square root 7 multiply square root 7. So we got square root 7 whole thing square. And this equals to square root 7 divided by square root 7 whole thing square. Remember, this square and square root, they always cancel each other, and we got only 7. So this is the final result, because you see here the denominator is 7. And 7 is a rational number. So hence we have converted this irrational number into a rational number. The denominator is an irrational number. We have converted into a rational number. Hence this is the answer. Let's do some more question. 1 by 2 square root 12. 1 by square root 12. Sorry. 1 by square root 12. In here, what we have to do first is we further reduce this square root 12 by using prime factorization. 12 equal 2 multiply 6 equal 12, and 2 multiply 3 equal 6. So 12 equal 2 multiply 2 multiply 3. So again here we have to multiply the same number 2 times, isn't it? So 2 multiply 2 becomes 2 square multiply 3. So then we put this in 1 by square root 12 equal 1 by square root. So in place of 12 we put 2 square into 3. 2 square into 3. And by using the laws of indices, we can separate them. So we have 2 square multiply square root 3. Now remember, we can separate them only if this is a multiply. Only if this is a multiply, okay? If this is a plus or minus, we cannot separate them. So equal 1 by, again, square root and square, it gets cancelled. So this becomes 2. 2 multiply square root 3 is square root 3. So next, 1 by 2 square root 3. Then again we have to convert this into a rational number. Now this is an irrational number because of the square root 3 here. So we have to convert this into a rational number by multiplying with, since this is the only irrational number here, so we multiply it only with square root 3. Since square root 3 is the only irrational number, so we multiply it with square root 3. So square root 3 to the numerator also. 1 into square root 3 equal square root 3, and 2, so 2 square root 3 into square root 3 equal square root 3 whole thing square, and this equal to square root 3 divided by 2 square, this square root and this square, it gets cancelled and we got only 3. 2 multiply 3, square root 3 divided by 2 multiply 3 equals 6, and this is the answer. 6 is a rational number. So hence we have converted this irrational number, the denominator irrational number, we have converted into the denominator of a rational number. Next question is question number 4. Let me first solve question number 4 and then we will solve question number 6. In this type of problem, if we have to rationalize them, we multiply the denominator with their conjugate. So here I have square root 5 minus 2, and the conjugate of this is square root 5 plus 2. Okay, if this is minus, then we write this as plus. The numbers stay the same, square root 5, 2, 2, but there is only change in sign, hence these are known as the conjugate. So now we multiply them. 1 by square root 5 minus 2 equal 1 by square root 5 minus 2, multiply it with square root 5 minus 2. Remember, we have to multiply with a conjugate. Square, we get square root 5 plus 2. Square root, so since we have multiplied in the denominator by square root 5 plus 2, so in the numerator also we have to multiply it with square root 5 plus 2. And this equals how much? 1 multiply square root 5, we get square root 5, plus 1 multiply 2, we get 2. And in this denominator, simplifying this, we must know the identities. Okay, so here are the entities, the three important, very important identities which I have given you in the notes also. You must remember them by heart. Okay, so here I have square root 5 minus 2 multiply square root 5 plus 2. So this is slight identity number 3. A minus b multiply a plus b, and this equal to how much? A square minus b square. In here, square root 5 is a and 2 is b. So a square minus b square. Square root 5 a square minus b square. So this equal to square root 5 plus 2. Square root 5 whole thing square gets cancelled. Square root cancel. We get only 5 minus 2 square is 4. This equal to square root 5 plus 2 divided by 5 minus 4 is 1. And since the denominator is 1, we just write square root 5 plus 2. And this is the answer. Next question number 7. 3 minus 2 square root 2 divided by 3 plus 2 square root 2. Again, we have to multiply this by a conjugate. So 3 plus 2 square root 2, 3 plus 2 square root 2. The conjugate of this is 3 minus 2 square root 2. So multiply by 3 minus 2 square root 2. And since we multiply in the denominator by 3 minus 2 square root 2, in the numerator also we have to multiply by the same number. So now, here, what do we have? In the numerator, what do we see is, we see 3 minus 2 square root 2 and 3 minus 2 square root 2. They are the same, isn't it? We have 3 here and here also 3. 2 square root 2, 2 square root 2, and they are the same number. So, we see this is identity number 2. This is identity number 2. A minus b into a minus b. So here 3 is a and 2 square root 2 is b. 3 is a, 2 square root 2 is b. So we have a minus b into a minus b. And this equal to how much? A minus b whole thing square equal to a square minus twice ab plus b square. So we write a square minus twice ab minus twice multiply a is 3 and b is 2 square root 2 plus b square. So plus b is 2 square root 2. So 2 square root 2 whole thing square. In the denominator, we can see again it is of identity number 3, a minus b into a plus b. It is same, okay, if there is if by saying a plus b into a minus b also. So we have a plus b into a minus b. See, a is 3, here also a is 3, b is 2 square root 2, b also here is 2 square root 2. So a plus b into a minus b. And this equal to how much? A square minus b square. So a square, a is 3, 3 square minus b square, b is 2 square root 2 whole thing square. So b square. And this equal to, simplifying, we have 3 square equal 9 minus 2 into 3 equals 6, 6 into 2 equal 12. Now remember, we cannot multiply this square root 2 with these whole numbers because this is in a square root. Okay, this 2 right here is in a square root, so we multiply only the whole numbers, which is 2 multiply 3 multiply 3 multiply 2, and we get 12. And this square root 2, we just write 12 multiply square root 2 equal 12 square root 2 plus. And here what do we have? We have 2 square. 2 square equal 4 multiply square root 2 whole thing square equals square root 2 whole thing square. So equal 3 square equal 9 minus, again we square this whole thing. What do we have? 2 square. So we have 4 multiply square root 2 whole thing square. We have square root 2 whole thing square. Simplifying this further, we have 9 minus 12 square root 2 plus 4 into square with square root, we cancel, and what is left? Only 2. So 4 multiply 2, we get 8. And 9 minus, here again 4 multiply square root 2 whole thing square. Square with square root, we get cancelled, so only 2. So 4 multiply 2 is 8 equal 9. Rearranging this, we plus this 9 with 8. These whole numbers, we have 9 plus 8 minus 12 square root 2. Now remember, we cannot add or subtract this 9 with 12 square root 2 because these are not like terms. This 9 here does not have square root 2, but here 12 square root, we have 12 square root 2. Okay, similarly 8 does not have any square root 2, so hence we do not add 8 with 12 square root 2. We add 8 with 9. So 9 plus 8 and 9 minus 8 equal 1. Equal 9 plus 8 equal 17 minus 12 square root 2 divided by 1. So since the denominator is 1, we do not write, and this is the required answer.